every player is a challenge. They're all good players. Everybody's in the NBA. You know, you try to guard them. If you do well, that's great. If you don't, then you don't. It's, every night is a challenge for every single player on the court. Basically because there's no defense, and there's this thing called a three-point shot, and everybody tries to shoot as many as they can, so the scores are higher. I don't like the rules. I think the game should be 36 minutes. We don't do well with 48. So I want to play with the 36-minute time limit. So far, the league has denied me that request,
No, but if the rules
which is reflected in our record. I think they should, I said this again, I'll say it again. I'm so tired of saying this, but I'll do it again, because it's kind of funny. The other rule I would like to see is a 4-point shot and a 5-point shot. So the whole damn sport could be a circus and a real joke. It's a totally different ball game going to practice, and a totally different challenge and a totally different satisfaction. You might think, after you've won so much, you say, "Oh, that's it." But you do these. People coach, I hope, because they like to teach. They like to watch the young guys develop. Maturity-wise, their basketball IQ, their view of the world, their individual skills. There's all kinds of things. You get these kids, they're 18, 19, 20 years old, and to be able to be there at that time and guide them is really satisfying. Where, when we were winning games all the time, that was just paint up, clean up, fix up, around the edges, and get this done and make a little change here and there and add somebody to your team and see what you needed to do to stay at that level. Here, you're building from the ground up, and that's the satisfaction. So totally different. Yeah. Well, it depends who you're posting up. I mean, a lot of guys in the league that post up, you don't care. So you just guard them one-on-one, and everybody stays locked up, and it doesn't gain you anything. You put somebody like Jokic down there, and people go double team him, and so it opens up other avenues on the court, spacing and all that. The post is a way to add to your offense if your post man has the ability to score a little bit. But if he's really a dud, it doesn't do much, because you don't honor it. You don't leave to double team. Sometimes people make a big deal, like each generation they get softer, or you can't talk to them, or they can't be criticized, and all. That's all bullshit. Way back when, it's a very individual thing. You've got to try to judge each player on his own merits, and some guys they've been treated inordinately well their whole life. Put it that way. It's sort of like getting your ass kissed all the time. And those guys are probably a little bit harder to get through to. Maybe you're the first coach that ever criticized them or tried to say no. They've changed schools, they've done this and that. They were in college for a year. They've got all kinds of people around them telling them how great they are. Well, that's always been the case. So each individual handles it differently. So you'll find, somebody like that I just described these days. And just as often you'll find somebody who's got great character and is mature, understands, cares about the team more than himself, all that kind of stuff. So you can't paint everybody with the same brush. So your job is to make sure that you can attract and sign as many people of character as possible. They don't have to be Boy Scouts, but people who we say have gotten over themselves.